Yeah, just watch this first, I guess.
I don't know. I've lived a good life.
So this guy is a Sergeant Carl Decker from the United States Marines. Apparently, he was in Guadalcanal, World War II. Anyway,
A lot of happiness, smiling, telling everybody that everything was beautiful every day. If I went into my church and didn't say everything was beautiful, they'd think I was sick. And I'm not that way. I mean, I sincerely believe in this old world that everything is beautiful. I mean, if I wake up in the morning and see these plants out here and all those flowers that are in there and the green grass on the ground, that's beautiful. And people don't realize what they have. They bitch about it. And then nowadays, I am so upset that the things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all going down the drain. Our country's going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh boy, is it ever going to hell in a handbasket. Isn't that right? Ill in the head, Ilhan. What kind of BS nonsense am I looking at? What is Twilight Zone? I mean, they are really trying to piss us off, aren't they? Americans, look at this crap. Look at this crap. A Somali sheriff that says, we work for you, Somalians. I mean, you know when you see a sheriff, like, they look like, I can't explain. It's like they look the part, the sheriff part. You know what I mean? Sheriffs, they like, you know, they have the hat on. They look, they don't look like this. They don't look third worldish, okay? Like American sheriffs. They don't look third worldish. You put a third world Somali in a sheriff's outfit, you can't even still make him look dignified, right? Or anything like that. Or you can't take him seriously. Look at this. Look at this. And I want you to listen. Talking in his own language. Certainly doesn't look professional. Doesn't sound professional. Certainly is not representing Americans. But yet, this is happening in America. In America. Minnesota. What the fook is wrong with you? Why are you allowing this to happen? And can you go, let me ask you a question. Can you go over there to China? Can you go over to Iran? Can you go over to any other place that has a backbone and self-respect country and fucking go over there, become a constipated constable, whatever they call them in the UK or whatever, or Canada? Can you go over there and become a police officer? Can you go over there and become chief of police and go there and say, well, I'm not here to represent England. I'm here to represent any Americans that are here. I'm here to represent, you know, you can't do that. You can't go to China and become a law enforcement officer or chief of police or whatever they call them over there in China or any other country and say, yeah, fuck you, natives. We're here. I'm here to represent whatever Americans that are here. You can't. This would not be a thing. This would not be a show. This is ridiculous. Listen to this. Minnesota sheriff states his loyalty ties with Somalians in the U.S. and abroad. Look at this. Someone on X says, it appears treason is no longer a crime, it's a political party, in a meme. And that's right, it's a political party. I know two wings the same bird, but one side seems a hell of a lot more evil than the other, these demon rats. But let's listen to this piece of crap. You think he's here legally? Huh? The fact that what oath did he take? Did he take an oath to serve and protect all citizens? Or just Somalis? I'm asking for a friend. Let's take a look at this. This is outrageous.
markaan haddaan askarnahay Soomaaliyeed ininka ayni shaqeynaa habeenii maalmo ininka ayni taaganahay fahanteen horta sida ogtihiin ba wadankan anaga qaxootiyan imaanay
let me lower because I got the volume turned up and recording to 200%, so that might be real loud. Let's roll that disgusting bean footage again. Let's take a look at this. As Somalian police officers, we work for you, Somalians.
markaan haddaan askarnahay Soomaaliyeed ininka inay shaqeynaa habeenii maalmo ininka inay taaganahay
Day and night we stand for you and serve
horta sida
you.
ogtihiin
Not even here
wadankan
as
anagu
speaking
qaxootiyan
English.
imaanay
They're not here to assimilate. We come to this country as refugees.
ma jiri jirin
No, you
marka
weren't no
hadda
damn
anagu markii
refugee. You came
nala
here
haydiriyey waxay
illegal.
noqotay inaan dadkeena u shaqeyno dadkii dhaqan
I bet you they came here illegal. All right, and why the fuck? What? How does this even happen? You're in this fucking third world country in Africa, Somalia, right? This Muslim country, this third world hellhole, and what do? They all go however they talk, and they point on a map collectively. Minnesota. They all land in Minnesota. Seriously, or did the UN direct them over there for some strange reason? This is weird. But then again, I got a lot of questions. Why do you have Pakistanis and Indians from here to Timbuktu, every damn crevice in America, in the mountains, on the coast? They own all hotels, motels, I should say, and gas stations. And then you got Mexicanos that have somehow migrated to North Georgia mountains, and they open up Mexican restaurants, and now they've made it to Long Island, New York, like within the past decade. And now there's Mexican restaurants all over New York City when there never was any when I was there. Strange how it's just a lot of strange occurrences, I think, but maybe not. But this right here takes a cake. Ghetto looking as hell. Ghetto, it just looks ghetto. The third world oozes. I mean, you could take the third world person out of the third world, but you can't take the third world out of the third world person. It's like that old saying, right? You could take the Brooklyn girl out of Brooklyn, but you can't take the Brooklyn out of the Brooklyn girl, right? Well, this applies to that. You could take the third world, I'll use it loosely, person out of the third world hellhole, but you can't take the third world out of the third world person. It's gonna carry over. It's gonna spill over. Put a uniform on it. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. And the audacity not even speak English. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let it sink in. Let it sink in what's happened to your country, America.
horta sida ogtihiin wadankan anagu qaxootiyan imaanay askar Soomaaliya ma jiri jirin marka hadda anaga markii nala haydiriyey waxay noqotay inaan dadkeena u shaqeyno dadkii dhaqankii ma fahmeynaa luqadii ma fahmeynaa culture-kii ma fahmeynaa marka qofka kale ma taqaana ajnabiga
I got a big problem with that. And if you're a red-blooded American, you should have a problem with that too. He says, well, they hired me. He's pretty much saying they hired me, and I guess other police officers in this community. I'm having technical difficulties because we are different from foreigners or white officers. Well, okay, you've come here illegally, you bitches. You're already saying we're not like foreigners, meaning you're the foreigner that came over here, but you're calling us foreigners, which we are foreigners to you, but now you're here referring to us as foreigners, almost as if like we're strangers in our own land, the way that's put, right? The way he says that. And then he goes, we're different from white officers. And then he says, well, we're different. We understand our language. We understand our culture. That's not how it works. When you go to another country, you're supposed to understand our language. You're supposed to understand that country's language. You're supposed to assimilate into that country's culture. But they're not here to do that because these are invaders. And now an invader has taken the role of sheriff over there in the Minnesotans' neck of the woods. And they're not there to serve you. They're not there to protect Americans along with their fellow Somalis. Hell no. I say this is a huge conflict of interest to have these bastards here in our country. You're not here to assimilate. Anybody that's here not to assimilate, you're not assimilating. You're just going to speak your own language. You're not going to learn our language. Get the fuck out. And all the fraud that goes along with it. How is this even possible? Because the inmates are in charge of the prison, so to speak. The mental patients are in charge of the asylum. Asylum. That's what you're seeing right here. This shouldn't even be a thing. He's openly saying, well, we're not, you Americans, especially white officers, you're so different from us. And I understand my culture, my Somalian culture. I understand my Somali language, but you guys, you foreigners over there in your own land, you strangers in your own land, you don't get us. You don't understand us. Therefore, I hold a air of superiority over you. That's basically what they're coming across. Very arrogant, I must say. But of course they're arrogant. They're invaders. They're invaders. They've been allowed to invade. Nobody's doing anything about it, and this is what you get. This is what you get. A lot of this invasion was done over last 4 years of the Beijing Joe Biden's watch. But I digress at any rate. Let's take a look at more.
duwanahay because qofkii gaabkii waxa we build that bridge-kaas u fahamtay marka insha Allah waa mahadsantiin again ogaada askari kasta oo Soomaaliya dalka iyo dawladaba inuu inii shaqeeyaa habeenkii marka hurudaan iyo marka mataqaana achievetaanba ininka inii taaganahay oo markaan haddaan askarnahay Soomaaliyeed ininka inii shaqeynaa habeenkii maalmo ininka inii taaganahay.
What more do you need? What more do you need? Not even speaking English. Not even speaking English and then Somali. You should just be speaking straight up English. What the fuck? Is this our country or is this their country? What's going on here, huh? Well, you know what's going on. We've been invaded, and this is a mission creep of taking over our country, and it's being allowed while Americans are being distracted. Americans being distracted by this, that, and the other, and struggling just to survive in the Bidenflation, COVIDflation that's continuing, right? And distracted by every other shiny object. This is happening. One city at a time. That's what they said. Until you wake up one day and you're in a hellhole, full-fledged hellhole like Somalia. You down with that? Well, that's what's happening. They make no bones about it. Unapologetically. So I'm here. I'm supporting and protecting my own people. I get my own people. You foreigners that live in this country, meaning Americans, you don't get us, and I'm here to serve and protect them, not you. It's the message I got. A Somali sheriff. Are you JKing me? Oh, doggy. If that doesn't light a fire under you, I don't know what will.
That's it.